wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell, if it wasn't for your wellies.
Welcome back for another farming vlog video. We promised on Tuesday we'd have the dice for our tractor back and we would have cows in our new shed. Well, it all hasn't gone to plan. Joe fixes the shear grab and gets it going. We've an orange status rain warning this weekend. Where oh where are we going to put our poor cows?
Morning everybody and welcome back to O'Neill Family Dairy Farm. It is Tuesday morning. It's absolutely lashing rain and the wind is howling. Up here getting the cows in. Cows are hugging in tight into this ditch, getting lots of shelter. From the way they're going, I don't think the rain started until late in the night. It's falling plenty now. Getting these ladies in, get them milked, they're in the shed for the day then. And the other half are going to come out and graze the second half at the back of the barn. Be a rough morning on them, but I think it's to blow up better in the afternoon. Wet and miserable, driving it on. Cows milked, half in the shed and half going out. It's been horsing rain and blowing wind all morning, but it's eased off slightly now. And obviously everything's a little bit better in the daylight. Yeah, fingers crossed. Going up to a very sheltered field, the back of the barn. As we explained, it's up for reseeding next year, so not particularly worried about the damage to it. Heading into Quinns. We have a daily occurrence at the moment. Going in to get some pillars, new pillars for around the collecting yard. Changing where the entrance and exit is on the side that's closest to the new shed. My phone is ringing. The rain passed off for about an hour and a half there after milking, and it wasn't looking overly bad, but it has been bulling rain now since about 10 o'clock, I'd say. A lot of rain falling at the moment. I drove up around the road there to make sure that the cows are alright, that we're out in the field, and they are content enough for the moment anyway. They're still grazing, so I'm assuming they'll be under a ditch fairly soon. We have our silage pushed up, we have our beat in. Going to get these couple of pillars now, and then we'll be back on farm to get our pipes on the shear grab that Ellen got yesterday up in Horsepower and Blessing. So, and speaking of Ellen, she's home today from college. She is sick with an ear infection, so she's at home minding herself. Got to do the school runs and stuff for her this morning, just give her a break and try and get her back right. So to call into the chemist to get some stuff for her as well. An absolute brute of a morning weather-wise. Let's drive it on as best we can.
Clyde Glynn Construction and his crew were back on site. They were putting some finishing touches to the concrete slab that they poured yesterday. The weather conditions weren't allowing much to happen, but they got busy in the old calf shed that is now going to be an extension of the current maternity shed. So they got busy putting up the shuttering, getting ready to pour the concrete wall there tomorrow. That's going to divide off the room that we used for the automatic feeders, and it's now going to become a dung store that will drain into the tank there underneath the maternity shed. I know someone's going to ask, why haven't we cleaned out the calf shed yet? We've been putting it off, waiting on the dites to come back. We have a trailer organised so the both of us could load it into the trailer and the other person drive it out. I contacted Quinns last week to ask could we send off a silage sample for mineral analysis.
I'm just taking it from the fit face here. It's not an ideal way to get a sample because you would have some secondary fermentation starting on the silage that's exposed. I don't have the sample core thingy-majiggy yoke where you dig down into the pit, but it's going to do. Okay, go on now, we'll have to pull back the cover on the other one to get a sample of it. Silage samples dropped into Quinns, into the lab, and it is continuing to absolutely bull rain. So just here is the old calving shed, calf feeder shed. Maternity shed was in, or the old calf shed was in behind, and the maternity shed was on that side. Yeah, so the boys have the shuttering set up for our new wall, which is going to leave this whole section here as our dry dung store. You might be wondering why we have left it off that pillar there. The reason is that pillar is going to come out of it. It's currently supporting the roof on top, but we're going to raise the roof up to the level of the calf shed beside it, and there'll be no need for that pillar then. And the reason that we're getting the pillar to come out of it is that it means we'll have better access into the shed to clean it out. It means that we'll have a gate off the end of the wall going across to keep the cows in, and then when it comes to cleaning out the shed, the gate will swing back across here and we'll have much better access, much easier access in to clean out the shed. Spin around our camera. Hey, Joe's ugly mug again. You might be able to see the driving rain out there behind us. I was just chatting to Clive. They were going to get some concrete for the wall, but it's only like 2 meters or something, but it's so wet. The curing of it and the drying of it would take ages, so the plan is for more concrete tomorrow, that last strip between the parlour and the new shed, to get that done, so they'll do the wall at the same time. The forecast had it that our rain was going to clear off around 1 o'clock. It is not happening anytime soon.
All you women in dairy, men, you are welcome to come along too. The 4th Dairy Women's Ireland annual conference is happening in the Charleville Park Hotel next weekend. I went last year to the gala dinner and the conference the next day. I'd really recommend it.
So 3:20, Tuesday. Just up here to get the cows in now. Come on, girls. There's about 2/3 of them out here still. The other ladies have walked themselves down to the yard. They're there waiting at the gate to get in. Come on, girls, come on, girls. Rain stopped about 25 minutes ago. Clive and the lads battled away just till after lunchtime there, but it got rained off. There was not a whole lot they can do with the rain that was falling. A small bit of damage been done there, as you can see, where the cows were coming in and out the gap. You mightn't be able to pick it up on the microphone now with the wind, but the squelching. So there wasn't a crazy cover of grass on this field, so there would have been a good bit of walking trying to get grub into them. But as I said, this is the back of the barns. It's penciled in for reseeding early next year, so we can throw a few bales of hay out into it now and get the cows that are down by the river. The ladies are dried off already. How are you? 2455. They're dried off by the river. We can get them up here now at the weekend if it does dry up a little bit. They're happy enough for there though. Come on, girls, are we going in? Come on, cows. Come on, 90, go girl. Go on, lead them on, lead them on. Shh. Lead them on, cow. Go girl. Go on, go on, go on. Shh. Go on, go girl. Up, 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 up. Easy now, girls. Easy now, easy now, easy now, easy now. To get a bit excited now after probably standing under the ditch for half the day. Out, out. Oldest cow in the herd. Standing for a rub. 10:58. She's empty, so there won't be too many more rubs. Sure, there won't cow. And the Venera when she goes. Kind of goes against the grain of what we do and have been doing for a long time, that if the weather's not suitable, the cows don't go out. But unfortunately, it's a needs must situation. Our shed is days away from being complete, so we'll just have to keep persisting. Far from ideal, but as I said, needs must. Morning everybody, just after 8 o'clock. Clive and the lads are back on site after getting rained off yesterday, so we have a reasonably dry first half or first 2/3 of the day today. There's more rain coming through tonight. Yeah, I'll show you later on this evening. The field up in Paddy's held up. Yeah, reasonably well. The silage field up there, they're up at the back of the house, so it held up reasonably well. How are you, calf? So I'm here going to get to New Holland started to get warmed up. I'm going to show you a few things that we might have to change today just on the feeding side with the cows. So I'll turn on the New Holland first. I had more contact from Naystan Machinery yesterday just in relation to the diets, so just the last couple of things that we needed to get done with it. The set of LED lights on the front and also the air seat to make sure that that was 100%. We went on to the pit silage that is here. I'll show you now. It's on the ground there in front of the dairy heifer calves and in front of the milkers there. Obviously you can see there's a build up of waste in tight to the wall. That is, well, a result of obviously the rotten silage on the outside of the pit face and me not being able to separate properly because we didn't have a shear grab. I didn't get my shear grab back in action yesterday. The day got away on me. We'll get that going now first thing this morning. But what has happened since we went on to the pit silage is we've had a slight drop in our milk solids. We were floating around there on a milk protein of 4.68 and a butter fat of 6.14, so well above 10% milk solids. So we went on to the pit silage last weekend, and since then our butter fat and our protein have dropped. Hang on there now. So our butter fat has dropped below 6, which is, anyway, we were at 5.63. Now we went back up to 6 there on our last collection. Our protein dropped to 4.35, which was down from 4.65, so that was a significant enough drop. The only thing that has changed really, well obviously we had the insane rain yesterday and stuff, that wouldn't help. Grass intake was probably limited enough, but the only major change we've had is we have introduced that second cut silage, pit silage from 2 years ago. Checked the records and it was left over from 23. Yesterday when I took the silage samples of it and our second cut here that was cut this year, away for mineral analysis, we are also getting them nutritionally analysed, so we'll have that information back today. So I'm expecting a significant difference in quality from our second cut this year. It was a lot drier when I took it out of the pit than from our second cut 2 years ago. So if that is the case, as I'm expecting, I'm going to strip back the front of the pit here from this year and start feeding that out to the cows now while they're milking. So I'm just here on site. We're getting our new entrance into the collecting yard from the shed set up at the moment, so Clive can pour the receiving pillar on the far side. The mood is freaking desperate at the moment. Our electrician confirmed that he won't be here till next Tuesday. So our plan to have cows in the shed on Saturday has been decimated. Could get them in, but then the electrician is in working in shite. I'm extremely disappointed. We haven't decided what we're going to do. So I'm distracting myself by keeping busy, and we'll worry about that closer to the time. I'm heartbroken, lads. So I'm here sorting through our bag of new pipes for the shear grab, and it was a little bit confusing, but I think I have them all sorted out now. Going to get them on. One more job ticked off the list. Driving it on. So getting my pipes laid out. This is our one that was bursted. The boys conveniently have them clipped together. So I have my gate sorted out up there. I'll show you a video of that now shortly. The lads were working away, filling in just where the new receiving post is going to go. They can be a bit camera shy at times, so I didn't want to show you my finished product. I have completely blanked the fact that the cows aren't going to be in at the weekend from my mind, or I would have gone home in a state of utter devastation. So we're going to work on, as the man says. Now we have a little bit of water in on top of them, so I'll blow it out, give myself a good dose of hydraulic oil, loose enough to hand screw on until they're almost right. And then this bad boy in it here. When I saw this little T-joint fitting first, can you see that there in the camera? Yeah, I was like, oh my god, what the hell is that like? I think it's the right idea. It's adding a lot of strength to the shear grab. That mightn't hand tighten for me there. We'll get our trusty open mouth and just see. I have to be very careful that I don't hit the one on this side here with the side of the open mouth, because I'd only be damaging the thread and making it a freaking nightmare to get the next one on. So Clive and Kevin and John are busy putting in the drains for the last big slab pour, which is going on tomorrow, running down along by the parlour, doing a savage job. There's 4 drains going in. So today the wall in the maternity shed is going to be poured, the last section that's going to link the existing side collecting yard, as we call it, into the new tank. That is exciting. Do I turn that way towards this, or do I turn it back this way? I think I'll turn it back that way. And here, speak of the devil, there's a load of concrete coming in now. How are we getting on? And my favourite lorry driver in, fan of the channel. So we'll tighten this up And you just looking at the back of my head, or you actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, so it'll be great to get that wall poured. Okay, so they're tightened. I'm just trying to think of a way now that I can... I'm folding them up like this, just thinking of a way that I possibly cable tie them, but then obviously I need just to keep them out of the way. I can't cable tie too tight or they'll snap when they're opening and closing, so I might just wait till I open and close it to see what way we're going. Currently using the tractor as a camera stand, so someone from Carlo was ringing me. Pause you there. That was Hegarty's in Tullow saying that our coupling that we ordered is in, so that's a bit of a road trip for one of us tomorrow now to go and collect that. I was just after realising there, God, I wonder are them pipes different lengths. Should I have checked that before I put on the other side, but thankfully they're not. Patiently waiting our WhatsApp message from Quinns about the silage analysis. It was just before lunch when I sent it in yesterday, and it generally takes 24 hours. By the way, Joe, one of our YouTube followers, Ellen, didn't actually tell me their name, and I suppose I should check the comments myself. Anyway, fan for a while because they gave a gentle reminder that I should be pulling out the diet wagon and going through, giving it a full service at a once over if I've intended to use it this weekend or very soon, which is a very good point, that I don't leave it like we did with this shear grab, panic about burst pipes etc. when I'm waiting to use it. Yeah, well, the shear grab was only used last a couple of months ago, so we'll think I might have half an hour now this afternoon, take it out where it is, and put down New Holland. We'll get down here into the yard. Its blades should be fine as we're not chopping beet, we're not chopping straw. Then it's just greasing and oiling the chain and making sure that the tension on the chain is right. Relatively straightforward, simple machine. Just keep it well greased and keep the chain well oiled and it should be okay. Oh, loosen. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, isn't it? Oh crap, Joe. Turn it up here like this one. Now, pipes on either side. We get the main lads on now and I have to change the new fittings over. The phone is a hopping, I'll leave it in my pocket. So now our two long pipes that connect out onto the tractor for the source of hydraulic oil. I might have an issue getting my new fittings off the old ones, but sure, we'll adapt and overcome, won't we? Now what the lads say, it was easy, everyone will be at it. And we'll go one at a time. Nice and tight. This video is going to be about 5 hours long, so I'm going to pause it now while I have these on. Okay, shiny new paps. Our shear grab is fully kitted out, ready to rock. Let's get her on the New Holland and see what she does. Hello. So I'm here on the New Holland, 2 bales of straw on the front of it. Might be hard to tell, but I am currently reversing down the entrance going into Paddy's. His exit's onto extremely blind bend. 2 bales of hay going for honey in the heifers. It's hard enough when you have 1 bale of hay on the front to go out at an angle and see what's coming in front of you. But with 2, it's a complete no-no. So I can look up the road now and I can look down the road. We'll turn off our 4-wheel drive. We'll get her into a higher gear and out we go. Driving it on, feeding cow. Increasing delay in the shed has a knock-on effect and everything else. So that's what my brain is busy doing in the background now, formulating plans of where these ladies are going to go after they have this next break of grass eaten. Not really 100% sure what we're going to do, but we'll make a plan the next few days. Honey and Willie and the heifers impatiently waiting. He's alright, guys. Dropping off the bales for the heifers. Obviously can't leave the 2 of them there. Leave 1 there and then we'll move another one away. They're super happy to see Joe. Pull in my door before he gets broken. Ground conditions are a bit soft. There's Drake bringing up the rear. It's only when you look through the cameras at the nose of the New Holland, she's not really made for having a fork on the front of her. So she juts straight out there. Kind of leaves you away a bit of a blind spot. But I'm getting very used to it now. Hay in the field. Let's get out of Dodge before we get any more followers. Wall in the maternity shed poured. Super job. So our new gate into the collecting yard is up. The whole piece of railing removed. That gate swings back out around. We'll join in with the other gate coming from there, and the cows then will enter straight in to the collecting yard there. Obviously our circular gate will be over a little bit. So the boys broke out a bit of the collecting yard this morning, and we have this post in. She can be latched in. I left them bars on the inside there a little bit on the long side, but bird having too long, too short, so I can pull them back or adjust that post there, bring it back out a bit, and then bars will be battened in onto this one here, tight, and we'll clean off the end of them then. So they've also poured this section now. That gate there is going to move out. It's going to be hanging here just off the wall with a man pass there left to the side of it. So the gate is hanging at that wall is going to move out to there, and it'll swing out and it'll cordon off and meet a gate that's hanging here. So the cows will exit the top of the parlour, walk straight down here, across this fresh bit of concrete, and in onto a slatted tank and into the shed. So tomorrow when the lads are pouring this section here, the same corresponding lip, we're going to come over the concrete here, so we scrape down, we'll just be scraping straight in there, and there'll be no slurry going back this way onto the feed passage or anywhere close to the drains that they have put in. She's taking shape. She'll grab on. Let's see how she works. All pipes intact. Happy days. So currently on the New Holland, it's about 4:05. I have cleared away all the waste silage and stuff from the last couple of days there in front of the cows. They were all up and were acting quite hungry. I wasn't planning to put in fresh silage until after I milked to save them being overly hungry going out this evening. I'm feeding fresh silage now. They can eat there for half an hour to quarter an hour while I get into cows that are out the field. We've no word back from Quinn's lab on our silage analysis, so I'm going to feed out more of the pit that's open just for this evening, and then we can, if the way it turns out, open the other pit tomorrow. So driving it on. Thursday morning, 5:30. Just up here in furthest field from the farmyard. They're happy, content looking cows, aren't they? Time to come in, girls. Getting a bit earlier this morning because of a long walk ahead of them to get down to the yard. We have our final big pour of concrete happening today. Boys are all prepped and ready to go, so that'll be happening at some stage this morning. And we also have biblical rain forecast for tomorrow to make some decisions today about what we're going to do with these cows. They won't be in the new shed, that's for sure. Oh my god. I have to stop thinking about that, I'll be crying. Drive it on, come on cows. So the sun is up. It's about 20 past 8, 8:30 or so. And the last big pour at the cow shed has commenced. Keithley's concrete lorry in there about 10 minutes or so. Clive and the lads are on site and they are pouring the last big slab, which is fantastic. I'll walk up the yard here now. We'll stop off at the New Holland and let her warm up. We'll go up and show you how you're getting on. How you're getting on, I hope you're getting on okay. We'll show you how they're getting on. All the talk is about the rain that's coming tomorrow. I think we're forecast to have as much rain tomorrow as we have had in the last couple of weeks. So, stay there camera while I turn on the New Holland. Cow, please don't touch that. Cows are milked, half out and half in. Just bear with me for a second there. I have a leaking water truck in here with the cows. What are they after doing? Water truck overflowing. No, the ball cock is just loose. Okay, we'll do a job on that now after we show you how the lads are getting on. So absolutely glorious bit of sunshine there now, which is fantastic. Huge amount of rain last night as well, which is not ideal. Anyway, up the yard we go. Because the pour is a lot narrower than normal, too narrow for the concrete lorry to reverse back in, Clive was bringing him with a dumper, so slowing things down a little bit, but we'll fly. So we successfully got our shear grab going yesterday evening. So we'll scoot out here now. We'll get her hooked on. As you can see, our yard is still wedged with tractors and everything else. A lot of Clive's gear will be gone today now. A lot of tractor mainly and all these panels. So we'll just drop off the bucket here beside it. Beside the skip, which is still awaiting to be collected. Ellen is in email contact with people about that. We're not sure what's going on there. As I said in yesterday's evening's video, we were waiting on our silage analysis from Quinn's to come back, and I was assuming that our second cut from this year, which is in the pit there in front of us under the green mesh, would have been better quality, and we were possibly going to have to start feeding it out. Well, Joe was wrong. Completely wrong. It is significantly drier, alright. It is not better quality. Our pit silage from 2023 has a DMD of 74, dry matter digestibility of 74, whereas the stuff from this year only has a dry matter digestibility of 67. Clip on, good stuff. Now the pit silage that we are currently feeding has a really low dry matter content. The dry matter is only 18 or 19%, whereas the stuff that we cut this year is significantly higher. It's over 26 or 27. Ellen will put up a screenshot of the results there now. So the plan is to start the tractor if I can. The plan is to keep feeding the pit silage that we're at. We can walk around the dry matter issue. We'll contact our Quinn's advisor and get a ration or a feed mix made up, because we're getting a higher protein nut delivered today, hopefully for the parlour. We're going up to 18% protein just to allow, because we're feeding an extra little bit of beet. You might be able to see the water squeezing out. Not really. I might do it on the next one. Obviously working in tight spots here now because pit silage is here behind us from this year, but we're making it work. Clean off all the front of that pit there now in the next couple of grabs or so, and we'll get a nice clean pit face. The trailer has waste silage in it from the feed faces there for the last couple of days. I couldn't fit it all into the trailer, some there on the right hand side. Get that out of the yard now today, and then we will be making a plan for all the rain that's coming tomorrow. Right now the cows are going to have to be kept in, all of them, so we'll see how it goes. Ellen is ringing me there now, so I'm going to pause this. Just on the bank over here down to the river in Paddy's. Coming over to check our dry cows. Put out a bale of hay for them yesterday up at the gate, and hasn't been touched yet, so obviously still grazing away grass. Things are getting sticky. I was planning to take them out here tomorrow, but all the rain that's forecast. But they are some content cows now, so I think we'll leave them where they are. They can come back over and eat a bit of hay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All accounted for. Getting right in among them ferns there. They're well wilted now. We had hoped to get it topped off again. Obviously it's way too wet now. You'd end up in the river if you came in here with a tractor now. So they'll make their way over to the gate tomorrow and get that bit of hay into them. Won't be bothering them. So happy that they're happy now. That's one batch of stock I don't have to worry about for tomorrow. Still formulating a plan in my head what to do with the milkers. I went on to our herd app and checking dry off dates, etc. for our first calvers. Going to dry off 20 of them and only have 100 cows milking then tomorrow, so they kind of squeeze into the shed. Knock that idea on the head, because first of all they're still milking quite well, and second of all it's too early to dry them off. Another 2 weeks milking them. Some of them are starting to drop their yield a little bit, but not drying them off just because we're forced to with the rain. So going to check honey in them now, give them their meal. The plan is then to move them on across the lane to their last break of grass. They'll ride out the weather that's coming tomorrow on their fresh break of grass, and I think I'll throw in a bale of hay in there before I move them over, so they should be fine and dandy for the day and the night. Of course then the question is what to do with the milkers. You see our river behind us is fairly full now. The start of the day is to be reasonably okay. well, it's going to be wet like it is. It's raining now. It's been raining for weeks, so that's no different. I think we'll persist as normal with half in, half out, and then tomorrow evening we'll sort of make a plan as the day goes on. We'll see how wet it comes. I could put the cows up onto the back of the barn where they had grazed, and we had been intending to put dry cows on, reseeding that field next year, so not worrying about poaching. We'll throw a couple of bales of silage out there and close the 60 cows that are out on that silage to eat, and they'll be okay. That's the idea I'm toying with now, because our cows are going quite well. The idea of squeezing them all into the shed, or trying to get half of the maternity shed ready and cleaned out and etc. It's just, we'll be rushing and mistakes will happen and etc, etc. In fairness, the cows have been tolerating the rain really, really well. And we've had lots of it for the last couple of weeks. A lot of rain last night. You can see by the yard, a lot of rain last night, and as you saw in the videos this morning, went up to get the cows straw lying under the ditch, happy days. So that's the plan I'm formulating in my head now. I think we'll stick with it.
Usually we house 40 cows up in Uncle Paddy's sheds. We thought our new shed was going to be well finished, so we filled his shed with bales of straw and hay. Just got a delivery from Amazon of 2 cameras for the shed. We're going to put 2 in the centre aisle, the 365 degree rotation on them, and then we're going to put 1 in the corner. I have 1 left over from a double pack I bought last year, the normal cameras that we have. However, the normal camera that we use is out of stock, and I expected the electrician to be here today and I wanted him to put these up instead of Joe doing it himself. So I changed to this brand. I got really good reviews on Amazon, so I've just plugged it in, connected it to the internet to test it, because I have ordered a camera before, and when I connect to the internet and open it up on the phone, the footage was awful. The footage on this is quite good. Delighted, that is the brand. It was €76 including delivery for the 2 of them. Come into the box, you plug it in, download the app, follow the steps, connect to the internet, and voila. They come with their own plug and wire, connect wirelessly to your internet. Happy days.
Just in the van here now, heading into the town to go to Quinn's and get some lime. I totally forgot to order more lime the other day when I was in there. Headless chicken. So going to pick up a couple of bags and order a half-ton bag of lime, hydrated lime or cubicle lime for the cubicles. It'll be delivered out the next day or so. I'm going to Irish Auto Electrical to get a new battery for the generator at the house. There's Ellen, how yeah, going the opposite direction. She was in Carlow at Sive this morning, the dentist. Yeah, our battery in our generator at the house doesn't charge, or hasn't been charging when the generator's running. It hasn't. I had it on the charger last night and it still seems to be dead as a dodo this morning, so going in to see if I can get a new one, because as we said the other day, we have no power tomorrow. There's a scheduled turn off of power from 9 till 5 tomorrow, although it's hard to see that going ahead now if all this rain comes that they're forecasting. But anyway, we'll plan for it and we'll have our generator ready to rock. Clive and Kevin and Joe are bursting away there on site. They're leaving a savage finish on the pour of concrete that they're doing today, sloping it down into drains and stuff, and yeah, it's looking absolutely super. So the wall in the maternity shed, or beside the maternity shed, stripped off.
But it will be the new border.
Yeah.
To the new maternity shed, the extended maternity shed.
That's deadly. Right with that now.
Oh, but I don't understand, Joe. What's this?
Well, that hole was there from when we poured the original walls, like back.
Yeah, but why did you not get him to do it?
20 years ago, because he wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm going to block it up. I have blocks there to block it up. You know where the gate's hanging on the end of the wall there? That's one.
Milk collection in the middle of it all.
So Thursday evening we're just on site here. Show you now what the finished level is. This is the end of the yard into the shed. So that little square that was left, it's all finished off, grooved with our honeycomb groove, and up joining the concrete that's poured at the end of the milking parlour.
Just show them that mud patch is actually concrete.
Yeah. So posts in the ground for hanging a gate, more sleeves left. There's other sleeves left on the far side there as well for receiving gates. And then this is our finished, the last big pour. So this clean yard, slope down into the drains, and we've 4 of them down along, piping the water down underneath, past the end of the tank, and underneath, past the end of the tank, by the collecting yard, underneath where that Jeep is, and away to the shore. Ellen is on site here. The lads have also cut expansion joints in the big slabs of concrete so that there's no cracking in the future. There's Ellen, just in case you don't believe me. So we're after spending since like lunchtime or before lunch,
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours just in the car shed, thrashing out what we're going to do there with Ronan, and Clive came in at the end, had his tuppence worth, and then I went around the shed with Ronan to have gates that will close off where the sliding doors are going to go, and then other gates that are going to go to guide the cows into the yard. So they'll all be on site, if not tomorrow, by Saturday.
And then we went over to the old calf shed, the maternity shed, and decided on gates and barriers for that. So we did loads of work.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah. And just to show you that the drains are working, water running down and into the drain. Obviously with the canopy that's overhead, all the silage is going to be in tight to the wall. It'll be kept dry. And then out here in the clean concrete yard, be going into the drain and away.
We've 14-15 mil of rain due tomorrow, so fairly well tested.
So going to get some food now and milk a few cows.
Clive is leveling out, tidying up in front of the calf shed. Getting her ready for concrete.
Morning everyone, Friday morning, 6:15. Cows in the yard. We are getting ourselves organised, getting these cows milked before our power is turned off at 9 o'clock. There's a pole we'll replace in our fence line up above, up at the back of the houses, so I'm assuming that's why the power's been turned off. The EFP contacted me yesterday to see if the land was still travelable, so it is for now. We're actually under an orange status rain warning here now in Wicklow from 2 o'clock this afternoon till 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're prepping ourselves for that. Cows milked, half going out, then it's just battening down the hatches. Because we've been upgraded to an orange warning now, I'm not going to let any cows out tonight. They can stand in the sheds. It's going to be squeaky bum time, but I'll feed the beet in the parlour so that they all have access to a bit of beet. They'll get that energy, and then we'll just load in the silage and all the feed faces down below. There'll be some of the cubicles, if some be standing, it is what it is. Not happy about it. They'll stand in the sheds for the night. We'll get them all up into the yard in the morning, milk them all. Probably feed them a bit of B10 as well to keep them happy and keep them sweet. And we'll see what way the morning goes. It's just after 8 o'clock. It's raining a bit heavier than I thought it would, in fairness, which is frustrating. Anyway, cows are milked, half are in the shed and half are gone out. For now, I'm up here where Honey and the calf heifers are. I'm in Ellen's car this morning. So I'm using it to block off the lane, let a few shouts, and hopefully Honey and them will come. Honey hears me talking already and I can hear her bawling in the background there now. She's coming. So yeah, the heifers hear me now, so they're coming running. We'll just turn off the power here and get things ready to go. Come on Drake, good lad, come on. Come on Drake. Drake been a bit slow there. Shh, shh, go on, good girls, go on 65, good girl. Good stuff, there we are, fresh prick, heads down, eating away. So I'd have Honey and the heifers move now before it gets too wet. Ellen's car is telling me something about the blind spot radar disabled. I have no idea what that means. The weather is just so ridiculously changeable this morning. It was 10 degrees earlier on and it was cruel mild. I was pumping sweat walking the cows in out of the field and getting them organised, and now the wind is after picking up, the rain is steadily increasing and it's Baltic. I'm just looking in over the ditch here now at where the dry cows are. I think our bale of hay is gone or flattened, or I'll just park here and have a walk out and see. I'll get them another one if that's the case. Up until yesterday they hadn't discovered it, so Bear with me for a second now. Our bale of hay is still intact down there. So I'll tug myself up after breakfast now and go call our dry cows and tell them where it is. But they're obviously happy out where they are. Delighted. Our dry cows have discovered the bale of hay. Happy days. Afternoon everybody, it's about 1:30. We are so far escaping massively in terms of the rain. Our orange status rain warning kicks in now in half an hour. We've had very little rain so far today. I was in Ballness getting the battery earlier on, it was lashing. Per Steel and some of the lads and where Clive was bringing all his gear up and blessing in, they were up there, it was lashing. So 20 kilometres either side of us is getting the rain. We're escaping in the middle so far. Fingers crossed that we'll keep going for another little while. What has been going on? Oh lads, I'm so tired. Clive and the lads are all here first thing and they spent the morning moving all their gear, or 90% of their gear out. So the lorry was back getting all his panels, etc. Then Clive had the idea of taking down the pillars at the edge of the calf shed, because during our conversation with Ronan Kelly Farm Services yesterday, we decided that moving the pillars that are going to hold the rolling doors at the front of the calf shed, if they were moved over a foot, they'd be in line with all the internal pens, which would make it very easy for us when it comes to cleaning out the calf shed. Quick phone call today at this morning with Clive and Per Steel, who stood the sheds. Just happened to be rained off up in Blessington and a job they were on. One thing led to another and the boys were here on site, and we have the pillars at the front of the calf shed removed and the track that is going to hold the sliding doors also down. So it means we have free run now at our calf shed in terms of setting up the pillars and stuff on the inside. It also, so we can get everything done, floor poured, and then we can restand the pillars where we want them to go and get our doors made and hung. So delighted with that little bit of progress this morning. Some of Clive's lads are back on site. They're doing us a favour and burying the ducting that's going to carry the ESB or carry the power to our shed. So we will have that in for when our electrician comes next week and gets the wiring and stuff done in the shed. We have no footage of our work earlier on. I had the front load or the fork on the front of the tractor, and Connor, I was lifting him up and down, opening the bolts and stuff, and Clive lifted him away with his track machine. But as our power is off, we have no yard cameras, so just spin around there now. Go on, turn around camera, and you can see the two pillars that were at the front of the shed and the track that was running across to hold the doors are now currently down. So they're here, pillars are there, tracks are over there. We have a free run at the calf shed now to get our internal pens and stuff laid out and down. Much better weather forecast for next week. Myself and Ellen will get our cones down, and we'll get Ronan Kelly here. We'll get our pillars and posts that are going to go into the ground permanently, get them on site, we'll get them in position, and then Clive will be back and we'll get a floor poured in our calf shed, and that will drive it on. You might remember from last year we invested in these Condon feed gates. So they're up here in the shed in Paddy's, which is obviously a storage shed for our hay, etc. now. So they're currently not being used, can't really see them being used here in Paddy's. Well, certainly not this winter, but possibly in the future. But right now need a feed gate, so I need to unhook the chains from this end and then off the hangers from that side, and then I'll lift it out and throw it down onto the trailer. Should be simple enough. One feed gate disconnected and ready for road. Almost ready for road. Just ease it down here now and drop it in the trailer. Slowly does it, and in the trailer she is. Meal tub, meal trucks, loaded on the front of New Holland. All the lights on so everyone can see us. Honey and the heifers and Willie, you can hear it. You can't hear them, but I can hear them. They're just up there across the ditch making lots of noise. So we're going to scoop up the lane now, down along the main roads, and we'll load into the paddock from there. Get a bit of dry meal into them, keep them happy. So the meal and stuff given into Honey up there and the heifers, keep them happy. They were a bit boisterous in the field, had to let a few shouts, swing a few buckets. They were been Yeah, they're getting a bit big now. But anyway, they're happy. Dry meal in the belly and fresh pickled grass, they'll be laughing for the night. We are still escaping very, very well. I know it's early into the orange status warning, but we're an hour in now and we have minimum amount of rain. If it's falling in Wicklow, it's not falling in our little part. Thank God. This is the feed barrier I was saying to you. The boards have been broken, so I have a red gate on the inside there to stop the cows eating out through it. It's been fine when there's only been 40 cows in the shed and 20 across the way, so half the herd in, half the herd out. As we are going to keep everything in now after milking this evening, need this extra feeding space. So stick it on time lapse here now and we'll whip them boards out. And the plan is, whoa, there's a gust of wind. Took my breath away. We'll get the feed barrier off the trailer and I'm just going to chain it to the feed bar that's on the top and chain it to the post either side, and it'll do for the night. We'll whip out the red gate and we'll be hunky-dory. There we go. Feed gates up. I'll whip out the red gate behind when I'm getting the cows out later on. As I said, secured here on top with chains. I have another length of chain up in the machine room with the parlour. I'll secure it in around on that bottom lug there and then do something, probably wire up on the far side there. The main pressure will be coming from, and you know, the bar will stop them pushing out on top. It's only when they're reaching down then, so that's a solid bar and board there. Get a bit of silage on it later on. Job's a good one. So boys have the channel dug. Sorry, I'll zoom in there. You see that red pipe sticking up out of the ground beside the meter box. So our ducting buried in along the top of the drafting yard and in over there the far side of that pillar. I'll walk across here, in over the far side of the pillar and see where the loop is coming up out of the ground. We obviously had an extra bit and it's going in and up, God, into the shed. Super job, super delighted to have that done. So it means when the electrician is here on Wednesday now, Tuesday Joe, when the electrician is here on Tuesday to wire up the shed, it means we can get power hooked up to it straight away. Just after 4 o'clock on Friday evening. So here's Chloe's finished work from yesterday. She is looking savage. Looking savage. So this is the whole span of the shed now. Concrete work complete. External concrete work complete. Doors to go up. They'll probably be a couple of weeks, but we have gates to go across there. They're coming tomorrow. All them passageways. In a week they promised so much. In a couple of days they promised so much. And on my last video, our last video, I told you the cows were going to be in. They're not going to be in. They're not going to be in. Yeah, outside our control. Electrician can't come until Tuesday, so they won't even be in for the next video. It is what it is, and the other trades that have been on site here were like, oh, put them in, don't worry about it, we'll be alright, move them out of the shed while he's here. But I'm paranoid now about any metal or anything been left in any of the feed passages or anything like that, you know, bits of copper or something from the wiring, cows picking it up. We need every animal that we have. I don't want that road, so for the sake of an extra couple of days, continuing half in, half out, we're going to ride it out. We have enough grass left, just about, until I think Wednesday evening. So that's what we're aiming for, depending on how long it takes the electrician. He should be just a day and a bit. So there we are. We were expecting good news on the dites as well this evening. Unfortunately, when the mechanic was giving his final once over, he came across a snapped cable. It's going to be Monday before that's in or can be ordered. Maybe it'll be in on Monday, I'm not sure. Whichever, it's going to be another couple of days anyways. No cows in the shed and no dites. Joe's a frustrated farmer. I settled myself with the disappointment a few days ago when I was speaking to the electrician, so we're just frustrated now. But considering that Wicklow's under a yellow status, rain warning, shaping so far very, very well. We'll take that. We're just going to ride it on for another few days. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing and hyping our video. It helps make our channel grow. The interaction, as I've said in previous videos, the last couple of days, the last few weeks has been absolutely fantastic. I think you're as excited and as looking forward to as us as having cows in the shed. We're getting there, we're getting there. We were galloping when Clive came in doing the concrete. We're down to a snail's pace now, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And when we get there, it's going to be worth the wait. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. Stay safe. If you're in the rain, been lashed the rain, whatever, stay safe, keep your head down, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Drive it on.